Hi guys, it's Maya. Welcome back for another collection video. This one's going to be a little bit more extensive because I have much more Madams than I do Ginnies. Ginnies is something I just kind of recently got into, but Madams is kind of what kickstarted my introduction to dolls, as I'm sure it is the case for a lot of people. So I'm just going to kind of go into it. I don't have, a lot of rare ones necessarily. I do have a lot of really basic ones. I have the 14-inch Princess series. I have some of the Americana. I have some Little Women, because I know everyone at one point or another ends up with some form of Madame Alexander Little Women doll. But I'm just going to go through them because, again, it is the bulk of my collection. And I'm going to touch on them kind of quickly, kind of give a little bit of brief history when I do know what I'm talking about. I don't always, so again, feel free to please correct me if there's something I am misspeaking on or something that, you think I should know. I would love to learn more about these dolls because I have collected them for a long time now and I really love owning them and having them be a part of my little dollscape. So I'm gonna start here with this. I hope you guys can see it. This is my Madam shelf, even though I have them kind of scattered throughout the display. But I'm not gonna pull some of these, my 14-inch girls, because these are really, really popular. They're part of the Princess line. I think if you're familiar with dolls or Madame Alexander in general, you kind of know what these dolls look like. They're really, really popular. You'll find them pretty much anywhere. So I have the Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and both variants of Snow White. Snow White came with a white outfit as well as a red cape version of her. Not sure why that is, why she gets a repeat, but I do have both versions of her, although I do like the one with the red cape better. Unfortunately though, for most part, these dolls I found at thrift stores. So the one with the red cape is missing her little headpiece or little headband, because most of these dolls come with some form of headpiece, but I am missing that on her. But I think I can just replace it with a red ribbon. So one day I'll get around to that, hopefully. And moving on from those, in terms of 14-inch dolls, I also have this one here. She is titled Renoir Girl. She's part of the Renoir series. I think most famously, if you look up the Renoir series, you'll see a Little Bo Peep. She has a Little Bo Peep staff, as well as a pink ruffled outfit, and she's part of that series as well. This one has a hula hoop and a ribbon in her hair. And her, along with this little lady right here, part of the Americana series, were two of the very first dolls I ever purchased. They were actually gifted to me for Christmas, but they were kind of introductory dolls for me. And I was actually just scouring eBay and I saw those two out of the probably thousands of Alexanders out there, and I liked them the most, I guess, at the time. And I still do. I treasure them to this day, even though I've kind of moved on from the 14-inch. Again, the bulk of my collection is going to be 8-inch Alexanders. So moving on from then, again, I have this little girl. I believe she's part of the Americana series. She's one of the cheerleaders. They also have a white version of her, but whenever I see darker skinned dolls, I try and snag them because they're very hard to come across, and I like to see myself represented a little bit in some of these dolls. I have this one as well. She is tagged, and she is called specifically the Happy Birthday doll, and ooh, she has a little hat, she has a matching outfit, and she, unlike the rest of the 8-inch dolls, has a smiling face. There is a couple of them that have smiling faces. I have some that also have smiling faces, but that's a bit rare to see with the 8-inch dolls. And again, I got her actually at a flea market for $8, because she's a darker skinned doll, and when I can find them, I do like to bring them home with me, especially Alexander, because they're not always the easiest to find out and about in the wild. So other than that, oh, another 14-inch that I have here, I think she's gonna fall, so I'm gonna set her to the side. Another 14-inch that I have here is Carmen, who's part of the Opera series. She's also a really popular doll. You'll see her, I found her at a thrift store. You'll see her pretty much everywhere. She has really elaborate jewelry, and she has a really nice ruffled outfit. I'm not sure what other dolls were part of the Opera series, but I know Carmen was a big seller for Madame. And then other than that, on this display, I have two other ones kind of just thrown in there. I tend not to have them on stands. I used to when I first started collecting, but then I just ended up getting so many that it was kind of hard for me to have them on stands. This one I have here is a special occasions doll, and she is a get well soon. She also has a smiling face. I hope it's in focus. She has a smiling face, a teddy bear, and a little get well soon card, and she's dressed like a nurse. I'm actually going to a doll show on Saturday, and one of the biggest things I'm looking for is a nurse's outfit for my Tony-sized dolls. So this is kind of just my, version, my stand-in right now, because I desperately want a larger size nurse doll, but she is so cute, and I'm so lucky to have her. Again, I did find her at a thrift store as well. She was new in box. A lot of these I did find new in box as well, or I did purchase them new in box off of eBay and other places, but I ended up just, you know, my collection just got so big that there was really no point in me keeping the boxes, and I'm not looking to resell them for the most part, so I don't really have a purpose for them. This was another one that I found actually at a Facebook Marketplace trade that I did, and she is a ballerina. Looks like someone was reselling her actually. She has a tag for $41.95 on her, and she is part of the miniature showcase where they did like different professions and such, I believe, and she is the little ballerina. And she is so cute. I resold a few that were part of that Facebook Marketplace deal, but I could not bear to get rid of her. So the rest of these I'm gonna try and rapid fire because for the most part these are 8-inch and they're all more or less the same and, you know, their own unique ways. But again, I'm just gonna give you a brief look at them because they all kind of tend to blend into each other in terms of size and the way that they're presented. The molds are all the same. So I'm gonna start with these two because these ones are kind of unique. When his little hat's off. These are two male dolls. I don't really own many male dolls, but these are part of the Little Rascal series that Madame did. Now this was an exclusive release they did with FAO Schwartz. I believe I'm saying that correctly, Schwartz. We don't have them where I live, so I think it's FAO Schwartz. This was an exclusive release. Madame often did that, especially in the New York area where FAO Schwartz is initially located and I believe where they originated. And they would be exclusive releases just for people who could get into those stores. And the Little Rascal series came in a complete set with every one of the little members. But I found these at a thrift store. I managed to get my hands on Elphaba and Spanky. Alfalfa. I'm thinking of Wicked. But this is Alfalfa and Spanky. And I really, really like these two. I initially picked this one up and I went back to the same thrift store and I found him. So they go together and I think it's kind of unique, you know, that he's taller than most of these, almost like a Sisette size doll. But yeah, I don't really own many male dolls, so when I can find them, I love to pick them up, and he is just the cutest. I love his little big tummy that they do on some of the male dolls. I think like Geppetto they did in a storybook series, and he also has like a big rotund stomach, and I think it's really funny when they do little kitschy stuff like that. So moving on, some of the other ones that I have, I'm gonna try and pick out all the ones that I have that are actually themed or in original outfits. I'll get into that in a second. This is also one part of the Americana series. I found her again at a thrift store, and she is so cute. Her little baseball bat says Alexander on it, and I believe this one might just be called, oh, this one's actually called All-Star. I have her tag here on the outfit. She's called All-Star. I thought it was Baseball Girl, but All-Star is a bit more creative. She is so sweet. She has a little cap, and I believe they might have had a darker skin version of that one too, the same way they did with the cheerleader, but I can't manage to get my hands on that. If it does exist, I think I've seen it out there in the ether. I'm not sure. And then this one is a Little Women. She is, oh, actually no, she's not a Little Woman. I'm thinking of the wrong one. This is Bo Peep. This was also part of that Facebook Marketplace meet. The Little Women ones that I got in that meetup, I did resell because I just have a lot of them. But the Bo Peep one I couldn't manage to get rid of, as well as the ballerina, because she's just so sweet and I love her little bonnet, the little ruffles in her outfit. It's kind of hard to store these ones with the bigger, rufflier outfits, but I managed to hold on to her just because she is so sweet and I just couldn't get rid of her. We're all in really good conditions, the ones I got in that meet. So I managed to hold on to them. So I'm going to move on to these three right here. So for the most part, my 8-inch dolls, besides those ones that are kind of more aptly themed, I tend to redress them. I like to find a lot of them that are kind of in beat up shape and just kind of dress them because I have a lot of old Ginny clothes, Wendykins clothes, stuff like that. And I figured if I have it, I may as well give them kind of a makeover. So this one I got on Whatnot, I believe from the seller Katie Jane. I believe I got this from Katie Jane. This was a birthday present to myself. And I redressed her in some old Ginny clothes. Hopefully you can see her. She has the classic fold-over socks, a Ginny hat. Again, it has the metal T prong, so you know it's a Ginny hat. This is a Ginny outfit. Again, not in the best condition. When I got her, she had a bit of a chop to her hair. I kind of cleaned it up and gave her a bit of a French bob, but she looks super cute. She's got kind of a farm girl look going on, and I love her so dearly, and I really like finding the 8 inches with darker hair. I just think that they're so striking. Again, this one is another one with darker hair. It's branded Alexander on the back. She needs to be restrung, as you can see. She's kind of flailing around. But this is actually a Little Women doll that I redressed in the sunsuit. This is a Betsy McCall sunsuit, and I got a lot of them for I think like $7 on eBay. I was trying to buy one at a doll show a couple months back, and the lady wanted to sell it to me and a lot of other clothes for like $100, and all I needed was the sunsuit. So I hopped on eBay and I found a lot of them. So I have one on my Betsy McCall that I have up on my shelf, which right now I only have one. I'm hoping to get another one at the next doll show I'm going to this weekend. But right now, my little Alexander is wearing a sunsuit, and she looks so cute in it. It's really nice to have, you know, Ginny's. I have some Muffies. I have the Betsy's. They all can kind of share clothes with each other, which is really convenient because I do like to play dress up with them and not just keep them in original outfits. And then in line with the dolls that I have redressed, this is another Little Women, I believe. Her sleep eyes are a little stuck. This is another Little Women that I've redressed in a Ginny outfit. She has matching panties to go along with this outfit. She's got a bright green Ginny hat that match her little Ginny shoes. And I'm not sure if this sweater is branded. I found this in the lot that I got on Facebook Marketplace, and it is really, really sweet. It has a little button closure and everything, and I thought it went really well with the outfit. You know, the blonde hair, the yellow jacket, and the yellow flowers on here. I just thought it was adorable, and I think she is the sweetest thing. So out of all the ones I've redressed, I think she has got the most complete look going on. I'm a really big fan of her. So then hopping along to my last few that I have here. This is an older Wendy. I'm not sure if this qualifies as like Wendykins. I don't really know what denotes the differences between them, but she came to me fully dressed in this outfit, and I believe this dress did not originally come on her, but this is a factory made dress, not mommy made, because it looks like these are like factory closures and stuff that they normally would put on them. But the dress fits her just fine, considering I don't think she came in it, but I actually got her on Whatnot as well from user Cali Girl, and she was selling just a bunch of dolls. I got some Pam dolls and stuff from her, but this was another little birthday present to myself. A really old, you know, you can tell kind of because she has this more pallid expression, I want to say. She has more shiny veneer. The newer madams tend to be more matte. But I didn't really own any older ones, so as you can see from her face, you know, she's got kind of a different look going on than the other ones, and I really wanted to pick up one that is a bit older in style, so she was a really, really welcome addition. She was like $7, which I don't mind paying at all for these older madams because they can tend to get really expensive, especially when they come fully dressed. So on to my last two, I believe. This is a Sisette, and she is wearing a McCall nightie as well as a McCall little covering to go over the nightie, so she's not fully naked. I don't have any shoes or stockings on her. I was actually going to buy one of these at the doll show that I went to a couple months back, but I could not justify the price on her. I hopped on eBay and I found her for like 19 bucks. And then I got the McCall outfit, and she was ready to go. I know the Sisette outfit is more lacy, and it normally has the matching stockings and the shoes, but I thought this one did the trick just fine. She fits into the McCall outfit, and she looks adorable. And I really like the nighties on these dolls. I love the sunsuits, the one pieces, the nighties. I just think they're the cutest thing. So if I can put a doll in it, I'm definitely gonna. I hope one day to get like some more opulent clothes, like, you know, the Sisettes tend to have, you know, sissy style clothes where they're really beautiful ruffled layered dresses. So hopefully one day I'll be able to pick up some for her. Okay, my phone fully fell down, so I kind of have a precarious filming situation going on, but this again is my Sisette, and I love her so much. So now I'm gonna move on to the last doll. I'm gonna pick her up very carefully because I'm afraid my phone's gonna fall again. But this is the last one that I have, and she is actually a Shirley Temple doll produced by Madame Alexander. So I didn't realize this was an Alexander when I bought her, but when you look at the back of her neck, it does in fact say Alexander. She is another really sweet doll. I think she was like $4 at a thrift store. When I pulled her out of the package, she had the most god-awful smell. But she is adorable, in really good shape. She has really nice vinyl shoes, socks. I mean, everything on her is in pristine condition, and her joints work really well. There's no stickiness there. There's no, like, you know, they're not fighting with me, you know? And I think her expression is very cute. I had no idea she was a Shirley when I picked her up. I don't own any other Shirley dolls. But I'm really glad to have her. She kind of gives me like sailor vibes, so if I see a doll that kind of gives me sailor vibes, I tend to pick her up. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. That is all the madams I have right now. I'm sure after this doll show on Saturday, in a few days, thank God, I've been counting down the days for months. After I go to this doll show, I'm sure I'll bring home a few more, and I'll definitely do a video on my haul from the doll show. If not, I will film myself a little bit in the actual venue if you guys are interested, if anyone wants to see. But until then, I'll leave you with the beautiful image of Shirley, and I hope you guys have a good day. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!